Nós veio do dentro da Índia, na Índia, América do Sul. Seremos nomeados índios na Índia, América, Carnaval. Na vaga música Brasília, morenos frangos de quintal. Nós saímos dentro da Índia. We came really from the inside of the Amazônia, really from deep of the Amazônia. Na Índia, América do Sul, na Índia, América do Sul, let's say, não? E que tem tipo tambores e Benedito de tudo bancho, caboclo, marabá, siriel, remelete da cintura de Jovina, também mais de semenina, canapurima, pará. Cacho de beijo na baraca de Dodina, saracura, sururina, taruga, tracajá, a mãe de soba, da de soba, tem tainha, a mão de cova, curulina e bacai, maracajá. Né? I said, oh, you know, if I was playing Jesus, I said, so much, it's so fast, you know. Jesus means jazz anyways. I'm not saying jazz. It's, no, Jesus jazz. No, it's not jazz. I just said because I like to play, to sing fast, you know. It's kind of guys from like Omar Sosa or this guy from outside when I'm here in Switzerland, they listen and say, well, this is jazz. It doesn't matter, it's jazz. You know. Mariscando numa nova, boa, verso boa, trova boa, medo boa, sendo carajá. Cacimba, velha dá, noite quero bem, bota chamei de bem, faz o que cantar. Carambolando pela lua, bela pura, bela nua, bate cheiro, pede o cheiro, faz o verso. A rezadeira tinha casa no fogote da fogueira, no forró da bezadeira vem bilo. The problem is, for example, the guys, they came to Amazonia, you know, the guys from outside, I'd say, from Brazil, you see, like, as lutas, toda essa tua glória de uns bravos lá no Araguaia tombaram na luta contigo, qual teus castanhais nessa história, um sangue derramado vivo nas veias contra toda a escória. You see, the guys came to Amazonia, I say the guys from outside of Brazil, and they start to cut the tree. That's all. And get money goes out. You see castanhais, the trees, and the big trees. If you see from really high, it's like, it's bullshit. You see them. You see. Well, everybody knows about this, I think, all over the world. Because I'm a really friend of the guys from the Movimento Sem Terra, I'd say. You know, the guys who are looking for land to live. Because it's justice, it's normally. You need land, house, and love, and in foods, and in everything to live, to survive. I'm a really good friend of this guy, the Movimento Sem Terra, let's say, you know.
Então que alguém me diga, explique já. Que merda é essa agora? Que ditos os comemorou? Quem foi que descobriu? Descobriu o quê? Quem foi se Pedro viu? Caminhão corrido nesse lama do
You know, I'm talking just assim. So, can somebody else could explain to me what they made in these 500 years? What are you talking about? Why you have to commemorate? You know, quem foi que descobriu? Who discovered us?
Descobriu o quê? Quem foi se Pedro viu?
You know what I mean? So who discovered? The Indians, they are there already. So there's nothing to say. We have to get wins. I would like to all the world be more justice for everybody with his rights, and, you know, foods and houses and lovers from everybody. Equality. That's all.
Amor, me deixa, me larga, me solta, tô presa. Já sinto esse ar turvo soprando na minha cabeça. Me deixa, me larga, me solta, tô presa. Já sinto esse ar turvo soprando na minha cabeça.
And of course, with music, because this is music brings something else. It can help us a lot, you know. It's magical.
Sim, que eu sei que dói, mas ouça bem, sórdida sim. Tô fora dessa esperteza ruim, saudade de Pangeia, além num tolo, eu sou da mesma confraria. Acredite, me deixa, me larga, me solta, tô presa.
In these last 3-4 years, I'm making a great, I say, job with the children, you know, giving lessons, guitar lessons to children, in lessons, voices lessons also. It's a great job with the children, no? Because they start singing. I'm just say you'll be the first contact with the music, because they live in a violent area and place, you know. And if they have this contact with the music, they could go on. I have to say it's gratificating, let's say, you know, to work with them. To give something, because they give something to us. They sing this. They sing, they play, you know. They play really, you know. And I think this is something that you can do, you know, besides all the shits that happen, let's say. In fact, I have to say, Brazil, that there's a big change in the last 12 years. You know, we had some they're smaller yet, but we had some changes.
Unidade marcada pela diferença, diferença que te faz peculiar. Índios, uma nação guerreira, nossa herança, cultura milenar. Cores, tribos, gente da maior grandeza, aguerrida, povo que sabe lutar. As misturas que colorem tua beleza fazem de ti uma nação singular. Toda essa gente brava, colorida e alegre, com esse canto encanta, povo resplandece, essa beleza herança dos Tupinambá, dos Pataxó, Chavante, dos Nhambiquara.
You see, I'm kidding here. I say, Jussara, fala. I talk about my daughter, Jussara, because this song she wrote to the taste, and I make the music, the melody, and it's good. She say, não sou preto, branco. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm not yellow. I'm not red. You know, I'm just a mix of I'm not what you expect about the race. Unidade marcada pela diferença, diferença que te faz peculiar. You say there is a unity in Brazil, anyways. It's making a difference, you know. It's a big difference, and we are people from different colors, and anyways we are one. I think so. I was invited to Montreux because the Arribadas, my free CD, you know, that is recorded in Canada, in São Paulo, and then came here in Switzerland. And after Montreux, really the door, let's say, the door was open. You know, Montreux comes after some festival that I made before, and I met one guy, Stanley. He invited me to we make a CD together, a really great CD. And they made after we made another one, Brazil 500 years. So what? But about 500 years. So what? It talks about the discovery of Brazil, but who discovered Brazil? The Portuguese, excuse me, the Indians natural, they are there already.
Eita, mulato, amor de todos os humanos, é nessa terra que eu quero firmar o nosso bando. Eita, mulato, amuleto de todos os humanos, é nessa terra que eu quero firmar o nosso bando. E que os tambores tropejem no cantando africano, a trovejem no ritmo africano, a no ritmo angolano. Agora tira os caboclos em postes, em brigues e planos, doando as chulas do sangue nativo dos ritmos samba. Agora tira os caboclos em postes, em brigues e planos.
We mix some fives, some five rhythms, 5/4 with 4/4, and some language between Old Portuguese, African, and Indian's language. And anyways, I'm talking about, okay, let's be free, you know, and let's do something, you know. In somehow it talks about the cabanagem a long time ago. Indian people, native people. I'm not talking about the Indians from India. Indians, natural from Amazon, and they love this 7 and 5. It's natural from them. It's like in Africa also. That's why maybe there is some mix African music and old Portuguese in the lyricals, but the rhythms, zac, cat, comes really from Amazonia. And of course we have influences, and I say more from Africa. I kidding, but this is serious. I say the best thing that Portuguese made in Brazil by mistake is bring the African people there as a slave. This is really bad. It was the best thing that they by mistake.
Massacres de inocentes, a lutar por uma pátria livre, por liberdade, por um Brasil cabano, por igualdade.
Uma nação que seja livre possa cantar. Uma nação que seja livre. Quem matou nossos.
Well, Jussara, my daughter, she was following me. She saw me playing, sing some songs, and just something like natural. She started singing since as child, because she was like, singing. No, something like it. It's such fun because when the first she was 6 months, we are in the garden in house in Belém, and a lot of musicians come to, let's say, come to say something to welcome Jussara in 6 months, and it was of course my wife at the time, her mama, and it was in the garden, just musicians, just men. She was 6 months, and she came and she stayed there with us. And all the women are inside, make something. It was natural, and she was with with us. It was so fun. I make some good songs for her, called Se Essa Rua. So just se essa rua, esse país, essa casa fossem meus. What I'm trying to say for this song is, because I made to her, because it was a children's song. It comes from maybe old traditional children's song. Se essa rua fosse minha, eu mandava ela brigar. But I feel, se essa rua, esse país, essa casa fossem meus. Okay? And then I recount the history. It was an Indian Pataxó who was killing for stupid guys from the ministry in Brazil, and they're killing Indian. They put fire in the Indian in the street. The Indian was sleeping. He was sleeping in the street. It was Indians' Day. It's commemoration Indians' Day in Brazil. It was terrible. It was in Brasília, and it was son of minister who made Jesus. Some bullshit. He's not in jail. You believe that?
Tinha rei, seu castelo, seu reinado. Reino podre, podridão de se enxergar. Vieram Lucas, Alãs, Pedros, Jussaras, pra fazer esse reino podre todo desabar. Tinha um povo que era heróico, e tinha um bravo retumbante que andava atrás de terra sem parar, pra fazer sua casinha aconchegante e viver.
Besides in Belém, with the children's, we begin to make a festival, Jaco Fest, Jazz da Amazônia Contemporânea. Because it's the same thing, to bring good music at Belém, our town, And we have a lot of musicians in Belém, you know. And for example, last year we bring the Egberto Gismonti, great guitarist, multi-instrumentista Egberto Gismonti, we bring the Boccato, the trombonista Boccato, Omar Souza, the Cuban, you know, the pianist from Cuba, the great Omar Souza. Banda Isca de Polícia, a lot of guys from Brazil, from Southwest Brazil, and besides that, musicians from my town. And the main thing I was thinking about making a festival. I'm not producer, I'm a musician. It's just this because the guys who are supposed to do this in Belém, they don't do it. Bullshit, they make shit, you know. And then we say, okay, let's do something.
Gava de visagem, matou surucucu, me jurou com pavulagem que pegou Irapuru. Que pegou Irapuru. Que caboclo tentador. Caboclinho, meu amor, arranjam pra mim. Ando roxo pra pegar umzinho assim. Diacho foi-se embora e não quis me dar. Juntar meu dinheirinho pra poder comprar. Mas no dia que eu comprar, o danado vai sofrer. Eu vou desassossegar seu bem querer. Seu bem querer. Hora desse pra lá.
Man, I have to say, I had just beautiful and wonderful personas in my life, women in my life. I cannot complain about it. You know, mother of Jussara now, I made a great song for her. Liane, who was, mother of Lucas, and they say musicians are crazy. They change a lot. It's not like this, It's just because the musician's life is not so easy.
Tinha índio pataxó que passeava no reinado. Era festa de índio festejar. Vieram filhos de reis de seus ministros fazer farra de índio e esse índio incendiar. Mas tinha um cego, sua sanfona e seu cajado, que tocava, que cantava sem parar. O fim de um reinado podre anunciava. E um Brasil livre, com crianças livres a brincar. Se essa rua, esse país, essa casa fossem meus, eu mandava